Good evening everyone, and welcome to Raina Mo's Designs. And today we're going to continue on our Harley Davidson inspired wedding, and we're going to do a medium height centerpiece. So if this sounds like a tutorial that interests you, please keep watching. So the main items that we're going to be needing for this particular tutorial is going to be our hot glue. We're going to need scissors when it comes time for decorating. The hardware that we're going to be using as well will be one of these, ceramic hammered looking silver votive holder, as well as this beautiful hurricane that I found at King Dollar. And then from Dollar Tree, we'll be using one of the purple vases that they have in the store. Now, they have multiple different shapes of vases, and if you guys can remember my tutorial on the peacock inspired wedding, which I'll link up in the cards here, there was a gorgeous, beautiful shape. It was very much a feminine shaped vase. And I have one of those, but I only have one. So that's the reason why I chose this one, because I have multiples of this particular vase, and also I have this particular vase in a frosted purple glass. So that's the reason why I chose this one. But any vase, vessel that you have, candlestick holder that is purple will do for this particular look. So I'm going to be using hot glue in this particular tutorial because I'm going to be able to disassemble the project once it's done. But for permanency, remember I always tell you to use epoxy, and that can be Gorilla Glue epoxy or any epoxy that you come across, because I have found just the right amount of epoxy in a little kit that I get from King Dollar for $1.25, and it's always enough to finish my project, and I still have left over for the next project. So you can typically get 2 uses out of that one epoxy kit. So let's go ahead and get started. So this particular glue gun is an Adtech Pro 80 glue gun that I got off of Amazon. I know that you can find these in your hobby stores and your different craft stores, so you don't have to use the exact same one that I use, but I like this one because it has detachable tips, which I have to locate the rest of my detachable tips, so that you can have this flat tip. It also has a very pinpoint tip for precise little dots, if that's what you want to use as well, for like when you're working with crystals and such. And there's also one other which escapes my mind at the moment, but I make sure that I use professional strength glue sticks, which, if I remember, I'll put it in the description box below. I know that I've put it on other description boxes of tutorials that I've used for those of you that have been curious, but I'm going to try my best to try and remember to link everything, because I know sometimes I'll link some things and you guys will ask me about the one thing that I didn't link. So I'm going to try and do better about that with this new coming year, because we're getting close to our one year anniversary. So I'm going to go ahead and take the hot glue, and I'm going to work from the bottom. Now, how I would like is you can have your vessel facing upward, or you can flip it over if you want to have a light to illuminate it from the bottom, which is typically how I typically work, because I do like having light from the bottom. But keep in mind, this vessel is so narrow at the top that you may be able to fit a LED votive underneath, but I haven't found one slim enough. Like the ones from the Dollar Tree, they don't fit it exactly. It's still a little bit, the neck is still a little bit too narrow. So I'm not gonna do it that way. I'm actually gonna do it from the top, and I'm gonna go ahead and just remove the sticker from the bottom. Now, if you're working with epoxy, remember to make sure that you've cleaned the top off with rubbing alcohol. That just makes, well, the epoxy is going to work either way, but you definitely want to make sure that you're working on clean surfaces. So I'm just going to take the hot glue, and I have to remove the sticker as well from the bottom of the of this one, because you don't want it showing through, just in case you have a friend or family member, like we all have in our families, that likes to investigate and really look at things, which, you know, I used to have hard feelings about when people were extra scrutinized over things, but as I've gotten older, I've come to realize some people do it to not be so nice. But for the most part, if someone's looking at something that you've created and they're really being a spectator about it, it's because they want to try and figure out how you did it instead of just asking you how you did it. So in that case, you know, that would actually be flattery. So having said that, what I'm going to do is this bottom, once you take the sticker off, you can see the hole that has to be in it because this is ceramic. If I'm gonna place it on the bottom this way, so if they're looking through to try and see, they'll see it, but they have to look really hard to see it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add a little bit of hot glue around the mouth and just affix it, and try and make sure that you have it centered. Okay, I didn't have it centered and I moved it twice, so we got to do better on that. One more time. And I'm going to use quite a bit this time around, and it's probably easier to just turn it upside down in place. Yeah, much easier, much easier. So there we have it, and we're just going to give that a little bit of time to cure. And then while we're working on that, excuse me y'all if y'all happen to see that, but here in Texas we have these things called mosquitoes, and they are really bad. It just got cold, and so mosquitoes do not do well in the cold, and they are trying their best to find places to hide. One of them obviously got in the house and got me, and I didn't feel it, but I feel it now because I am itching. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's really bothersome. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to add hot glue to the top of the hammered vessel, and then I'm going to affix my beautiful, I mean, look how big and how tall this hurricane is. For $1.25, y'all, I got this for $1.25. And I have looked to see if there's any way that you guys can order from King Dollar online. They do have a website, but I never see any of the houseware items that I share with you guys online. It's little rinky-dink stuff that I see online. So if anybody, because I get questions all the time, I'll try and find something similar to it on Amazon, but if anybody wants to get any of the items that I pick up at King Dollar, if you will email me about it, I can go and I can pick up what it is that you want, and we'll figure out, you know, the shipping or whatever, so that you guys can get these items as long as they still have them in store. So I just wanted to share that because I know several people have asked me about it. I've given them the website. I've gone and I've looked on the website and it's never there. I think maybe one time something was there, but for the most part it's not. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue with the hot glue. And I'm going to center it. So once we've got everything glued together, this is what she looks like, and she's really, really cute. So now we move on to my absolute favorite part, and that is to decorate. So in order to decorate this particular vessel, she's very shiny already, and she has a nice sleek silhouette. So my thoughts are, I'm going to be using candles with this particular vessel on the inside, and I want to use real candles. Okay, you can use LED candles as well, but you have to keep it to consideration how long it's going to burn, how hot the vessel is going to get. So for that, you would definitely want to have a double walled candle. So this would provide your first wall of protection, and then the second wall of protection would be the actual candle that you would put inside your vessel. So anyway, I am going to decorate the outside keeping that in mind so that I can still utilize my professional strength glue sticks in my glue gun, as opposed to trying to use an epoxy or an E6000 or some type of cement to affix the decorations. And what I'm going to be using is going to be the tassels, or yeah, that's what I would call it, fringe. It's like tassel fringe that I picked up on Amazon, and I shared with you in my haul for this Harley Davidson inspired wedding. In case you guys forgot, here she is. So I'm just going to unpin her and unravel a little bit, and you decide where it is that you want to decorate. And I love this beautiful neck that she already has, so we are going to be giving her a choker. So I'm just going to measure around the vessel so that I can get the exact measurement of the fringe that I need, and I'm just going to snip. So for the rest of the video, I'm just going to concentrate on decorating, so I'm going to be quiet, and we're just going to speed through the video with a time lapse. Okay, and so far this is how she looks, and she is gorgeous. But as you guys know, we have a seam here that we have to hide. And here is where your creative juices really can become flowing. And I'm only saying that because there's so many options out there for us nowadays when it comes to embellishment. You can use hair barrettes such as these. That's a hair barrette. You can see the barrette on the back, as well as this one, which is a hair barrette. You can use little brooches, which this came from Totally Dazzled. Then I have some buckles that you could actually use, and this came from a craft store, as well as buttons, which came from a craft store, and I believe both of these came from Joann's if I'm not mistaken. Then you can go down the aisle at your local craft store or even bead store, and you can get charms for jewelry. And these are some charms that I've had for a while, and what it is a picture frame. You can make a bracelet out of this, and it has the little plastic sheath in here. I'm gonna pull that out. So you really can put a picture in here. And it can be the bride and groom that you put in here, family members that you've lost that will not be able to attend your special function. The sky's the limit as to the ideas of pictures or emblems, whatever it is that you want to put in something like this, which is also an option that you can use to decorate, which this is what I'm going to choose to use. Because I just feel like the antiquing, if you can see the black that's in there, it's been antiqued. And I just love the look. You know, we are doing Harley Davidson themed, right? So, you know, when you think of Harley Davidson bikers, you kind of think gritty, very edgy. So antiquing would go right along with that in my mind. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm just gonna place, now remember this is metal, so it's gonna be hot, so I'm gonna be working quickly with this, but I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue along the edges and just kind of dollop it and place it right in the center. And hold. Really cute. And so here is the final look, and I think she is absolutely gorgeous. All I did was add the picture frame, which is a jewelry embellishment basically, because you can make a bracelet out of this. And then if you remember when I snipped the embroidered ribbon for the tassel here, one of these swags came loose, and so I just added the pendant and a couple of beads to the bottom of it just to jazz it up a bit. And I decorated the neck of the purple bottle with a little bit of black diamond wrap that I got at King Dollar or Epic Dollar. And then they're both $1.25 stores basically. And then I also found this at one of the $1.25 stores, and it looks like silver studs. So I just added that sticker here, which is gorgeous. And then to carry along, because we do have a hammered textured type of metal look going on here, which really ties in well with these studs, I just added one little choker of the same stud, which is a 3-strip sticker, as you can see here. I just cut it and added it here at the bottom to the center of this particular vessel, this hurricane vessel, and I think it is so pretty. This is another one of my absolute favorites. It turned out gorgeous. So now all I have to do is give you the final reveal with the look and clean it up a bit from all the fingerprints from me touching the glass. But I really hope you guys enjoy this particular tutorial because it is definitely gorgeous. Definitely a one-of-a-kind piece as well. And I hope that Miss Juanita really likes it. More than likes it. I hope she loves it. So if you enjoyed this particular tutorial, you know the drill. Give us a thumbs up and comment down below. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. But most importantly, have a wonderful evening. Bye.